There comes a divine moment, a holy turning point, when heaven leans down and shifts everything in your favor. It's not gradual. It's sudden. It's not logical. It's miraculous. One moment, everything looks the same, and then, in an instant, everything changes. That's how God works. He doesn't always send a warning before the turnaround, he just moves. When he says, now, time obeys. When he says, open, doors that were welded shut swing wide. When he says, release, blessings that were held up for years start rushing in like a flood. This is that now moment. This is your divine reversal. You may not realize it, but your entire life has been leading to this point. Every disappointment, every loss, every sleepless night, every unanswered question. God was weaving it all together to bring you to the day where he says, this is where everything changes. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. When God reverses something, he doesn't just change the situation, he changes the position of your soul. He replaces bitterness with peace, sorrow with joy, loss with legacy. He restores dignity where shame once lived, and he brings victory out of what looked like defeat. Look at Joseph again, betrayed by his brothers, imprisoned for something he didn't do. For years, it looked like his story was over. But in a single day, everything reversed. He woke up in a prison cell and went to bed in a palace. That's what divine reversal looks like, sudden elevation after a season of humiliation. And that's what's coming for you. God is about to turn the pages of your story so fast that those who doubted you won't even be able to keep up. Those who spoke against you will have no choice but to watch as God vindicates you openly. Every hidden battle will become a visible blessing. The same tears that fell in private will become testimonies that shine in public. This is what happens when heaven steps in. This is the moment when favor overtakes you, when doors open that you didn't even knock on, when opportunities find you because your obedience has drawn heaven's attention. You're about to step into divine acceleration, the season where what used to take years will happen in days. The enemy tried to bury you, but God was planting you. And now, the soil that once covered you will witness your growth. Every seed of faith you've sown in the dark is about to break through the surface. God's reversal doesn't follow human logic. He takes the least likely, the most overlooked, the most underestimated, and elevates them to places of influence. Because when he does it, no one can take the credit but him. The same power that turned water into wine, that raised Lazarus from the dead, that split the Red Sea, that same power is reversing things for you. You might feel unqualified, unprepared, or too broken, but hear this truth: God doesn't need perfection, he needs permission. He just needs your yes. He just needs your willingness to believe that he can still move in your life. Right now, he's reversing emotional wounds. He's healing places in your heart that have been broken for too long. He's restoring relationships that the enemy tried to destroy. He's turning financial drought into supernatural provision. He's flipping the script on every lie that said you were finished. God is saying, you thought I forgot, but I was writing the comeback. You thought it was over, but I was building the testimony. You thought you were being buried, but I was preparing your bloom. You are about to experience what I call divine justice. Everything that was unfair, every betrayal, every loss, every door that was slammed in your face, God is about to make it right. There's a holy reversal happening in your favor. You've been through the breaking, but now comes the breakthrough. You've been through the testing, but now comes the testimony. You've been through the waiting, but now comes the witnessing, seeing with your own eyes what you prayed for in faith. And when it happens, it won't just be restoration, it will be recognition. People will see the glory of God on your life. You won't have to prove anything. The fruit of your faith will speak for itself. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. Your miracle is being prepared in places you can't see yet. Your story is being rewritten in heaven right now. Soon, you'll step into a moment where everything that was working against you suddenly begins working for you. That's divine reversal. You're about to walk into answered prayers so overwhelming that you'll have no words, only worship. And when you look back, you'll realize that every delay, every detour, every disappointment was leading you right here, to the place where your miracle finally meets you. This is the moment heaven restores balance. This is the moment your story flips. This is the moment your miracle that was stolen returns, not just as it was, but better than it ever could have been. Because when God gives it back, He gives it back with interest. So don't give up now. Don't doubt the process. Don't lose faith because of how long it's taken. God is never late. He's always right on time, His time. You are about to see a divine reversal so breathtaking, you'll know without a shadow of a doubt, it could only have been God. There's a sacred moment when what you believed finally becomes what you see. When faith steps out of the invisible and stands before you in reality. When what you've prayed for, waited for, and cried for finally walks into your life as proof that God has always been faithful. That's the season you're entering right now. The manifestation of your miracle isn't far off in some distant future, it's unfolding now. God has been aligning every piece, every detail, every divine connection. Things you thought were random, every delay, every no, every unexpected turn, were actually heaven's way of weaving together the perfect setup. You're about to see the miracle take shape. You'll recognize it because it will feel like peace. It won't come with confusion or chaos. It will come quietly, confidently, carrying the fingerprint of God. The miracle won't need to force itself into your life, it will fit. It will align effortlessly because what comes from God comes with grace, not strain. Many of you have wondered, when will I finally see it? And God is saying, when your heart is ready to hold it. Because manifestation isn't just about receiving, it's about being prepared to sustain what you receive. He didn't just want to give you the blessing, He wanted to make sure the blessing wouldn't break you. That's why He healed you first. That's why He strengthened your faith first. That's why He removed people and closed doors, not to punish, but to protect. So when the miracle arrives, it won't overwhelm you, it will overflow through you. The manifestation will come in unexpected ways. A call you weren't waiting for. A message that changes everything. A door that opens out of nowhere. A divine opportunity that reminds you heaven hasn't forgotten your name. And when it happens, you'll realize, it wasn't luck, it was legacy. You were always meant to receive this. It was written in your story before you even knew how to pray for it. Your miracle is not a coincidence, it's a covenant being fulfilled. This is why the enemy fought so hard to distract you, because he knew that the moment your miracle manifested, your faith would become unstoppable. He tried to make you tired, doubtful, hopeless, but none of it worked. You kept believing. You kept standing. And because you did, the manifestation has no choice but to appear. Heaven rewards persistence. So don't question the sudden blessings coming your way. Don't doubt the good news that seems too good to be true. You've waited long enough, now it's your turn to witness what your faith has built in silence. The promise that was once invisible is becoming visible. The season of almost is ending. The season of it is finished is here. Every miracle is more than just a blessing, it's a rewriting of your story. Because when God restores, He doesn't return you to where you were, He takes you beyond where you ever imagined you could be. You are not the same person who cried in the valley. You are not the same soul who begged for breakthrough with trembling hands. You have been refined. You have been reshaped. You have been rewritten by grace. This is your redemption chapter. Everything that was meant to destroy you became the very tool God used to rebuild you. Everything that was taken is being replaced with divine upgrades. And now, heaven is saying, I'm not just giving you back what was stolen, I'm giving you a new name, a new identity, a new level of authority. You're stepping into a season where people will look at you and say, how did this happen? And your only answer will be, God did it. Because it won't make sense, not logically, not naturally. You'll know it was supernatural. You were once the one people pitied, now you'll be the one people learn from. You were once the one who cried in private, now you'll be the one who leads others to hope. You were once the one overlooked, now you'll be the one anointed to overflow. God is turning your pain into platform. Your wounds into wisdom. Your test into testimony. The very area where you suffered most will become the very area God uses you most. You're not behind, you're being elevated. You're not forgotten, you're being featured. You're not broken, you're being built for glory. Heaven is restoring your confidence, your laughter, your purpose, your rhythm. This next version of you won't chase, it will attract. You won't beg, you'll bless. You won't be anxious, you'll be anchored. Because you'll finally understand that the waiting wasn't wasted. It was writing your story in divine ink. God is saying, you are not defined by what was lost, you are defined by what I'm giving you now. The miracle you're stepping into isn't just about recovery, it's about resurrection. You're not returning to the old you, you're stepping into the renewed you, the one who knows how to carry glory, who walks in faith, who speaks with authority, who trusts with unshakable peace. Your story has been rewritten, and the new chapter begins with victory. As this message draws to a close, there's one truth heaven wants you to remember. You were never forgotten. Not for 1 second. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, He heard it. Every tear that hit your pillow, He caught it. Every time you questioned your worth, He affirmed it. Every time you thought it was over, He was just getting started. The waiting wasn't God ignoring you. It was God preparing you. You see, He doesn't show up late, He shows up perfect. At the exact moment your heart is ready and your purpose is aligned. And now, you are aligned. Heaven's timing is here. The miracle that was delayed is now delivered. The favor that was hidden is now revealed. You're stepping into divine fulfillment, the place where what God promised becomes your living reality. Everything you've lost track of, everything that slipped through your fingers, everything you thought you'd never recover, it's coming back around, better than before. The story isn't ending in sorrow, it's closing in celebration. The season that broke you will become the one that blesses you. And the God who began this good work in you will finish it. So take a deep breath. Stand tall. Lift your eyes. You are walking into answered prayers. You are standing in the place heaven prepared. You are about to live in the reality of what you once only believed. God is saying to you now, this is your time. The battle is over. The waiting is over. The restoration has begun. I have not forgotten you. I have been working for you all along. Now watch what I will do next. The miracle that was stolen has been found. The promise that was delayed has been delivered. And the chapter you thought was over is only the beginning of glory. You've made it through the breaking. You've endured the silence. You've walked through the waiting. Now comes the fulfillment, the evidence of everything you believed. This is your moment to rise. This is your time to walk in restoration, renewal, and divine reversal. You are not forgotten, you are favored. Heaven has spoken. Your story has shifted. Your miracle has arrived. And from this moment on, everything changes. When change is near, the universe begins to whisper through signs. It's not always dramatic, sometimes it's subtle, soft, and easy to overlook. But once your awareness opens, you begin to see that everything around you is speaking. There are moments when you simply know. You can't explain why, but something inside you feels lighter. The heaviness you carried begins to fade, even though nothing around you has visibly changed. That feeling, that quiet peace, is often the first sign that something is aligning. It's the soul's way of saying, get ready. The energy has shifted. Sometimes, it happens through timing. A message arrives just when you were thinking of someone. A song plays, and its words describe exactly what you've been feeling. A number repeats itself over and over again, on the clock, on receipts, on license plates. These are not coincidences. They are reminders that you are part of something intelligent and interconnected. The universe is not silent, it is constantly in dialogue with you. It sends signals that match your vibration, echoes of your thoughts, reflections of your focus. So tonight, be aware of what repeats itself around you. If something keeps appearing, a phrase, a name, an idea, that is the divine confirming, you're on the right path. One of the clearest signs that it's happening tonight is sudden stillness. You may feel unusually calm, even if you can't explain why. You stop worrying about how things will work out. You stop chasing. You just feel peace. That peace is not apathy, it's alignment. It's the moment when your energy and the energy of your desire finally meet. It's when resistance dissolves and flow begins. If you're feeling that tonight, pay attention. That is the doorway opening. Another sign, synchronicity increases. Everything starts to click. Things that felt delayed suddenly come together with ease. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, hearing the exact words you needed. You might feel a gentle urge to act on an idea, to message someone, to take a step that feels inspired. Do it. That impulse is guidance. That moment of courage may be the spark that begins the change. Sometimes, the sign is release. You'll notice yourself letting go, not because you've given up, but because you've grown. The things you once clung to no longer feel heavy with fear. You stop begging for what isn't meant for you, and your heart becomes open again. That openness creates space. And the universe cannot fill closed hands, it pours into open ones. So if you felt the need to release someone, forgive something, or simply stop fighting what hurts, that is also a sign. It means your soul is clearing room for what's coming next. The universe doesn't deliver blessings into chaos. It cleans the space first. And that clearing often happens just before the breakthrough. You may also feel a shift in your emotions, waves of sensitivity, moments of gratitude for no reason, tears that feel like cleansing. Don't resist those feelings, they are part of the transformation. Your heart is adjusting to a higher vibration. It's preparing to receive. Even your body may sense it. Some people feel tingling in their hands, warmth in their chest, or a sudden burst of energy. Others feel like time slows down for a moment, as if the world holds still, just enough for you to notice the sacred in the ordinary. These sensations are your soul's way of saying, the alignment is happening now. And if you're wondering, why tonight? It's because energy moves in cycles, and there comes a point when all that you've planted in thought, prayer, and effort reaches its turning point. It's the invisible tipping point when what's been forming beneath the surface finally begins to emerge. That point is not random. It's the culmination of everything you've been through, the pain, the lessons, the waiting, the faith. And now, it's ready to manifest. When it happens, you'll know. There won't be fireworks or fanfare. It will feel natural, peaceful, as if it was always meant to be. Because it was. So tonight, be present. Don't rush, don't overthink. Watch for the subtle ways life begins to say, here it is. The message that shows up in your feed. The unexpected phone call. The sense of clarity that replaces confusion. The opportunity that feels effortless. When you notice these things, pause and whisper to yourself, this is it. It's happening. Because acknowledgement is power. When you recognize divine movement, you amplify it. You send out a vibration that says, I'm aware, I'm ready, I'm grateful. And gratitude accelerates manifestation. The universe always responds to awareness. It expands what you focus on. So if you focus on signs of alignment, more signs appear. If you focus on peace, more peace arrives. If you focus on readiness, the moment arrives faster. Right now, as you listen, something in the unseen world is arranging itself in your favor. It could be a conversation that leads to opportunity. It could be healing energy flowing through a relationship. It could be a realization that sets you free. Whatever it is, you will feel it soon. Because it will happen tonight. This isn't about superstition or magic. It's about resonance, the universal law that what you vibrate, you attract. And tonight, your vibration is finally matching the frequency of your desire. So trust what you feel. Trust the peace. Trust the timing. Trust the signs that gently guide your way. You are not imagining this. You are witnessing your life come into alignment. And the universe is saying, keep watching. I'm not finished yet. There's a sacred voice that lives inside you, a voice that has been speaking all along. It's quiet, gentle, and patient. It doesn't argue, it doesn't force, and it never leaves. It simply waits for you to listen. That voice is the language of your soul. It is how the divine communicates with you, not through the noise of the world, but through the stillness within. You may have ignored it at times, drowned it out with fear, or silenced it with doubt. But even then, it never stopped calling. It has whispered through your intuition, through your emotions, through the things that wouldn't let you go. That pull you feel, to change, to grow, to love, to begin again, that's not random. That's your higher self, your divine connection, guiding you home to who you've always been. The inner conversation begins when you stop asking the world for permission and start asking your soul for direction. It begins when you realize that answers are not found in noise but in silence. You don't need to chase signs forever. You don't need to beg the universe for proof. You only need to listen. The divine doesn't speak in complicated riddles. It speaks in feelings. When something is right for you, you feel peace, even if it's unknown. When something is wrong, you feel resistance, even if it looks perfect. The difference between confusion and clarity is the voice you choose to trust. So tonight, the invitation is simple. Turn down the volume of your worries, and turn up the volume of your soul. Ask quietly within yourself. What do I need to hear right now? Then pause. Don't rush the answer. Let it come in its own way, in its own time. You may not hear words, sometimes the answer arrives as calm. Sometimes it arrives as a memory, a vision, a sudden knowing. Sometimes it's just peace, washing over you like light through an open window. That's how God, the universe, source, whatever name you choose, speaks. Not to confuse you, but to remind you, you were never disconnected. Even in your lowest moments, you were being guided. Even when you doubted, you were being carried. Even when you felt silent, the divine was still speaking, just waiting for you to slow down long enough to notice. The world has taught you to look outward for answers. To measure yourself against others, to seek validation, to chase what shines on the surface. But your soul has been whispering, look inward. The treasure is already here. You have always known what you are capable of. You have always known what you deserve. You've just needed to remember. This is the remembering. This is the moment the noise fades and the truth returns. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply unfolding, and the unfolding takes time. That inner voice is the compass that never fails. It's not afraid of time. It's not afraid of detours. It only points toward truth. And right now, it's saying something to you. It's saying, trust me. You already know the way. So many of your fears come from forgetting who you are. But when you return to the voice within, the fear loses power. Because fear cannot survive in the presence of truth. You are guided by something infinite. Something wiser than your thoughts, stronger than your emotions, and kinder than your fears. It lives inside you, steady, loving, and eternal. Tonight, that presence wants to remind you. You don't have to earn connection. You don't have to beg for guidance. You already are connected. You already are guided. Every time you breathe with awareness, you tune into that connection. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you strengthen that bond. Every time you trust the gentle nudge of intuition, you are saying yes to the divine conversation. And the more you listen, the clearer it becomes. That clarity won't always shout. It will often come as a whisper that says, "This is the way." Or as a subtle feeling that says, "Wait." Or as a gentle reminder that says, "Let go." You'll know it's the divine voice because it always leads you toward peace, never fear, never shame, never guilt. It speaks with compassion, not condemnation. It reminds you of your worth, even when the world forgets it. So if you've been asking for a sign, a message, a word, here it is. You don't have to search outside for what already lives within. The voice you've been waiting to hear has been whispering your name all along. Tonight is about reconnecting with that truth. It's about remembering that the distance between you and divine guidance has only ever been one deep breath. Take that breath now. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. And as you do, say quietly to yourself, "I am listening." Because that simple act, listening, is prayer. It's meditation. It's surrender. And when you listen, the universe responds. It begins to rearrange everything around you to match the peace within you. You become magnetic to the life that aligns with your truth. That's why tonight is so important. Because when you finally hear the divine within, the outer world begins to mirror it back to you. You'll start to notice that life feels softer, people feel kinder, timing feels smoother. That's not coincidence, it's resonance. You've returned to the frequency of your soul. And that frequency attracts everything that was always meant for you. So let this be your inner conversation tonight. I am ready to hear. I am ready to trust. I am ready to receive. Because the moment you say yes to that, the moment you truly listen, something inside you shifts forever. You stop chasing. You stop fearing. You stop doubting. And you begin to live from truth. The divine voice within you is saying even now, "I have always been here. And tonight, you finally hear me." Alignment is not something you chase, it's something you allow. It's the natural state of your being when fear falls away and faith rises. It's what happens when you stop forcing and start flowing. So many people think miracles are interruptions, sudden, unexplainable moments that break the rules of reality. But the truth is, a miracle is what happens when reality finally matches the vibration of your truth. It's not chaos. It's coherence. It's everything falling into place exactly as it was always meant to. Alignment is the space where intention meets timing. Where your inner world and outer world finally begin to speak the same language. It's when your thoughts, emotions, and energy no longer contradict what you desire, they support it. And that's the miracle that's forming right now. You've been preparing for this alignment through every challenge, every delay, every lesson. You've been stretched, refined, and strengthened. You've been learning how to let go of what's not meant for you so that you could finally receive what is. The waiting season wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It was the divine's way of fine-tuning your frequency, of clearing the noise, of teaching you how to trust. And now, something inside you has shifted. You're no longer chasing the old energy. You're no longer begging for what drains you. You're standing in peace, and that peace is power. Because when you are at peace, you are in alignment. And when you are in alignment, miracles move easily toward you. The miracle of alignment feels like this. Opportunities start to find you instead of you finding them. Conversations unfold with perfect timing. Ideas flow effortlessly. Doors that were once closed begin to open, sometimes gently, sometimes all at once. It feels like life begins to breathe with you instead of against you. You stop fighting the current and realize the river has always known where to take you. That's the moment you truly understand surrender. Surrender